to another edition of the Preview Review Show. I'm your host, Lonnie Johnson, and I would like to welcome my two guests for today, Tara Linan and Rebecca Johnson. How you guys doing today?
Hi. Hello, how's it going?
Great, good to see you guys. What we do here on the Preview Review Show is we give you a review of previews of movies that are coming out in the near future that are playing in the movie theaters or even direct video to you guys via on-demand or any other streaming services. We give you your honest opinion of if you should see it and if it's a rating of 1 to 5 stars, where you should see it in the movie theater, Netflix or whatever, and then also our opinion of what it's going to do on Rotten Tomatoes. If you could do us a favor, it would be really great if you could hit that subscribe, ring that bell, so whenever we're doing a new video, you know that it's happening. It really does help us out. And don't forget, give us some likes and write some comments if you like, hate, dislike, or whatever about the show. All that information really helps the show go even further. And now, a word from our sponsor.
I want to say thank you to our sponsor, Sal Baltimore, a premium watch company that is proudly designed and assembled in Baltimore, Maryland, my home state. With attention to detail and quality in every design that pays tribute to the city of Baltimore and its people. A watch you can be proud to wear every day. I myself own the Founders Edition and love to show it off. Go check them out at salbaltimore.com.
And let's get started with our first movie preview that we're going to watch. It is Chaos Walking.
That was a terrible crash. We're lucky to be alive.
Whoa, stop! Don't come any closer.
It's a girl.
Girl! Oh my gosh, girl.
I'm sorry.
No noise.
Blonde hair.
I've just never seen a girl before.
Who are you?
It's so loud here.
We call it the noise. Happened to all the men on this planet. Every thought in our heads were on display.
Where are all the women?
They're dead.
What is she thinking? Where the hell is her noise?
It's strange to see everything you're thinking.
You know, it's strange for me, too, not knowing what's going on in your head. I mean, I don't know, you might not like my dog, or you want to hit me over the head with a rock or something.
I like your dog.
He's stronger than he knows. You better watch your noise.
Snake.
If those men catch you, they'll kill you.
Get in the boat!
If you want to protect the girls, you have to leave now.
Safe, keep you safe, keep you safe.
With her power, there's no telling what he can do. I need that girl before she wants him. How many are coming? 100? 200?
Thousands.
Come on. I am Todd Hewitt. Be a man. Fight.
Be quiet. I'm trying.
Come on. Fight.
And that was the preview, Chaos Walking, a sci-fi thriller that is just one of those imagination tales that I am wanting to see just because of the whole idea of, your thoughts are basically visually seen and heard by everybody else around you, being, those are supposed to be internal personal stuff. And I love how they visually represent it. And I love the whole idea of this movie of it being on a different planet or Earth as we know it. I don't know where it's set because it's not telling you, but it's giving you the mysterious part that you really look for in a movie that has that question that draws you in to find out what's going on. Tell me more.
Would you like to know more?
It's got some great actors in it, young and old. Mattis Mikkelsen. He's been in so many like Bond movies and being the bad guy and whatnot.
You are a funny man, Mr. Bond.
You just love his accent when you hear him on show. Tom Holland coming in as the main male lead on it, and then Daisy Ridley. Great cast to basically lead this off. With that, I'm going to throw it over to Rebecca, and let's get your ideas on this movie. Tell us what you think.
Well, sci-fi is one of my favorite genres, so I'm always excited to see some new outings that aren't tied to previous big-scale movies like Star Wars or Star Trek or some of the more tired series.
I find myself growing fatigued, Doctor.
Like new, fresh ideas. And the main thing that I felt when I was watching the preview was that I have so many questions. Like, why are all the women dead?
They're dead.
How did this happen? How can thoughts be visualized like that? Just what's going on this planet? Is it Earth? Is it somewhere else? And so these are all questions that piqued while watching it, which is the sign for me of a good preview, because now I want to watch the movie and get the answers to all those questions that were popping around in my head. I really like the cast, and I really like the overall premise from what I could understand from the preview. So I'm definitely excited to see this one.
Yeah, great read on that. Tara, give us your spiel on what you feel about this preview.
I'm super excited for it because any kind of vehicle that has Tom Holland, Daisy Ridley, and Mads Mikkelsen in it as like your main ensemble cast, like, yes, please take all my money.
Shut up and take my money.
Do what you need to do because they're fantastic actors, and especially for the younger too. I really want them to have successful careers and them to be around like 30 years from now. And just like Becky said, like this is a fresh idea. This is something that it's not really been done. It has like that Children of Men feel, but like with the new spin. And for somebody like me who has ADD, shout out to all the weird kids out there. The thought of having your thoughts be visualized because we're so all over the roadmap anyway is fascinating. And so something like that, it brings up a lot of questions like, what kind of thoughts are visualized? Is it everything? How do they control it? What happens? Like, it's just, you want to see more. So you want to see the movie.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree with you both. The preview is done so good that all you want to do is find out when and where this is playing so you can go see it as soon as possible. I'm going to lead off on the grades on this one with Chaos Walking. And before I do that, I want to give a nod to Nick Jonas in the preview. It's like, wow, I was never a fan of your singing or anything you did on Disney.
You better watch your noise.
But you look like you're going to do really good in normal movies. So nod out to Nick Jonas on that. Otherwise, yeah, let's get into the grades of the movie. I'm actually going to give this preview, I'm going to risk it and say a 4. Because it's everything that you want in a preview. You want a preview to, give you that whole like, what's going to happen? You want to come see this. You got to come see this. So 4 stars is where I'm putting it right now. Rotten Tomatoes, I'm always the optimist when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes, but I really think that this one is going to do well on Rotten Tomatoes overall. So my overall score on that one is going to be like a 90 because people are going to like this for the cast, for the story, for the imagery and everything else that's going on. And it's the different sci-fi, like Rebecca said, that's not the typical, on a spaceship and going out and destroying Klingons and whatnot. It's just, it's what we kind of want right now in the whole sci-fi genre to grab you and keep you going. When and where I'm going to see this, barring the whole COVID thing, we're not taking that into a case. I want to be in the movie theater watching this one. And this one isn't an opening night for me. This is definitely just in the movie theater. It's not one of those like I got to rush out and go see it right now. It's something that is like, yes, I'm planning to go see it 2 weeks from when it opens up, so then that way I can have a nice relaxed watch of this movie. With that, I'm going to throw it to Tara. Tara, you give us your grades and let us know how you feel.
So I'm definitely leaning towards 4.5 on this one. It was a really strong preview. I'd never seen this before. I wasn't aware. This isn't on my radar. So this preview definitely got me hyped for it. Rotten Tomatoes score, because it says it was from a book. There's always those purists and those people that slam stuff because it's not like literally verbatim, like page for page. So I'm thinking maybe a 70-ish, because those purists have to ruin everything. So they're going to come in and ruin it a little bit. Don't do that. Let's see. And as far as where I would see it, again, this would be like an IMAX type of deal. Like you want to hear the explosions, you want to hear the bump, 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 and have the theater feel. So if the world was perfect and COVID was gone, it would definitely be theater, not an opening night like you, but definitely I would want to go see this in a theater. And yeah, that was it.
What's it called? Rebecca, why don't you give us your grades on that?
I think for me, this preview is also a 4.5. Like it's everything you do want in a preview. It's exciting. It's mysterious. It leaves you with questions. It makes you want to watch the movie, which is exactly what a preview should do. As far as where like Rotten Tomatoes, I think a 70 score on Rotten Tomatoes is generous because I actually am on Rotten Tomatoes all the time. So I see the scores. So I think if this does well, it'll probably be a 75, 80 in that range. And that's if they do well. If the movie itself ends up being garbage and only the preview was good, then of course the scores will reflect that. But I think based on the preview, it's going to do well. So I would say 75-ish, 80. And where I want to see it, this is a theater movie for me. If I safely can see it in theater, of course, which is super annoying. And I know that you guys said not on opening night, but it's honestly been so long since I've gone to a movie in a movie theater that I probably would want to go on opening night. Plus, I like the hype of a good movie on the opening night feeling. So for me, and since you basically reserve all your seats now ahead of time, it's not crowded, you know, I think I would go opening night in the theater for sure.
Copy that. Great reviews on that. And that's the reviews for Chaos Walking, opening January 22nd, 2021. Our next preview is Monsters of Man.
Sir, we've landed. Are we still in all go?
We are go. We're dropping a secret team of robots into a country that we're not supposed to be in. It got serious the moment was thought up.
Hey! Stand up! You're all gone, or I'll kill you!
Do it.
These people have seen everything.
Take them all down. No witnesses. Oh, shit!
We have an ID on him yet?
Sending you a packet.
Special forces, huh? If this guy's a deserter, it could be the ultimate field test.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
She's a doctor. They're all doctors. They're here on a good cause mission.
Come on, man. Okay, you're scaring her. You're scaring me.
I'm scared.
Come on! Do it! Fight me like a man, come on! You were made by humans to afflict death! You were made by humans. We're different! I'm a man, I have life! You're a machine!
And that was the movie Monsters of Man. futuristic tale of what can go wrong when men make machines that could do what men are capable of doing, or even more. That government complex military thing gone wrong, which, you know, you could call this a precautionary tale of what we should not do in the realm of the whole Terminator kind of thing. Or you could call this my type of horror movie where the machine goes freaking crazy nuts and decides it's going to say that, you know, you humans don't exist. It's the same thing to me, you know, horror movie / you know, precautionary tale. The visuals on it alone, I can't tell if that is CG completely or if it's an actual robot, which makes me almost want to have one. I'm like, I want one of those, you know, that.
Shut up and take my money.
It looks so cool. The story is, you know, something that, once again, precautionary tale that happens in the United States, the world, whatever, where we're sending out some special military group to go do something that we should not be doing in a third world country, whatever. Okay, but I like the twist on it where it seems like the robot is becoming aware and giving you that whole like stare, and you're like, well, what the fuck? What's going on? You don't know what's going on in the brain of it. Shot well, you know, there's nothing to say about the cinematography of it. It looks like a good, interesting movie that I'm wondering what else is going on with it. That, Tara, why don't you give us your take on this preview?
Okay, so as somebody who works in AI, the very first reaction I have to this is, son of a bitch, this is going to make my job so much harder, because my job in the real human world is to teach people that this shit's not going to happen in real life.
Move now. I'm going to service.
Please remain indoors. This is for your own protection.
And not to be afraid of machines. And every time something like this comes out and people make references to like Skynet daily in my job.
I know what you're looking for, sir, but Skynet is not ready for a system-wide connection.
It gets harder for me to see it there and be like, there's the robots in your home aren't going to murder you.
Now?
Maybe they will, and be nice to them. Like, always tell them thank you and please, just in case. So I love stuff like this.
Okay, but these are military murder robots.
Exactly.
Military murder robots.
You clearly stated you wanted one, so I don't know how much Becky's gonna want one in their house.
I'm weird like that. I'm weird like that. I'm sorry.
And that's what I'm saying. Like movies like this, first gut reaction is, you're just gonna make my job harder. It's also humorous, just because, again, that's my field of work, and it makes me giggle.
That made me giggle every.
That people think this is an actual thing. So entertaining, very, very entertaining. It's shot really well. Neil McDonough, the main character, he always plays a really good bad guy.
Sorry, what is your name? John Snyder. John, you know what? I didn't get your name.
Oh, it's Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
So it always makes me think like, oh, is there going to be a twist and turn? Because if he's playing somebody that's good, he never plays a good guy. So where's the twist? You know, stuff like that. But it's definitely like total BC movie cast, you know, things like that. But it looks fun, like a fun movie.
Rebecca, your turn. Tell us how you feel.
Well, for me, I don't know. This was not appealing to me. It looked a little bit like a made-for-TV movie. Honestly, like, I was not a huge fan of the premise, and the cinematography is okay for what it is. And there are some pretty good, well-known actors, but overall, this is not a winner to me. I don't know. It seems like a teenage boy's video game military fantasies come to life a little bit. I don't know. I know. I'm sorry.
What you trying to say?
I know. And I don't want to live in my house ever. Like, I won't even have Alexa, because that's how I feel about that. I'm the person who makes references to Skynet and was like, Cortana, no. But as far as the acting goes, it doesn't seem too bad. And I probably will watch it, if nothing else, for laughs, you know, because I tend to laugh at those kind of movies and enjoy them for the like popcorn spectacle that they are. So I've seen worse for sure. Like if it was more like District, like it has like a District 9 vibe kind of going for it a little bit, which is not a bad thing. And I've definitely seen worse. So I will probably still watch it.
Great. With that review of destroying my boy's childhood dreams of owning a murder military bot, why don't you, Rebecca, go ahead and start with the grades?
For me, that preview is like a 2.5 or 3 stars. Like it just was not that impressive to me. Like I'm not a like, oh man, I can't wait to see that movie. It was more like I'll watch it later. I think Rotten Tomatoes it's iffy. I don't know. There's some good talent in there, and people tend to like these movies. So 50 or 60%, I would not be surprised if it hit at least 60% on Rotten Tomatoes at all. And this is definitely a watch at home for me, like a rental or streaming service, whatever is available. I don't even know if I would spend money on it, to be honest. So I might wait till it's on like HBO or Netflix.
Understood. Tara, your turn. Tell us how you feel about this movie.
Yeah, this is a definite 2 on the preview. It's the narrative has been there, done that. It's nothing new, nothing fancy. The only difference is that like there is no difference between a lot of these movies that have, AI gone awry. Rotten Tomatoes, I think, is going to be really cruel to this one, just because it's nothing spectacular or special. I'm thinking more 30 to 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. And as far as me seeing it, this is a Netflix type of deal. This is, there's nothing else on. I've binge watched every single show, and I'm waiting for something new, and it pops up on my recommended list, and then I'd watch it.
Understood. So for my grades, I'm going to give this a 3 because it is one of those, like we've all said, the story's been done already. The idea is already played out. The whole fear of AI is one of those stories that just keeps on going and going. This is one of the first movies itself, not by a streaming platform, that's basically, but this one is going to be released by itself in movie theaters and online and all platforms all at the same time. I think it's actually going to do somewhere in the 65, 70 range because of what it is. There's going to be the people that are going to want to watch this because of its, AI gone wrong, scare kind of tactic kind of thing. When and where I'm going to see this, being that it is available on streaming platforms and out in the movie theaters, as good as this looks and the sound sounds so good, I would love to see this in the movie theater, but the story has already been there, and I'd rather just watch this at home on some kind of streaming platform. It's just not grabbing me like it should. With that, let's move on to our next movie. It is the Vince Vaughn new release, Freaky.
Good morning.
Morning. That's me, Millie. Ordinary, boring Millie.
I love your dress. I think I saw it at Discount Bonanza.
Okay, so I was never the most popular.
Homecoming's this weekend.
Booker is gonna be at the dance.
And boys never really noticed me.
Wow!
Honestly, if this was a horror movie, I'd be one of the first ones to get killed.
Cue the creepy dude in the mask.
Like I said. But actually, it turns out
Where am I?
I didn't get killed.
Oh my God, why do I sound like that?
I woke up in the killer's body.
The Blissfield Butcher strikes again.
Don't freak out.
You're black! I'm gay! We are so dead!
Ow! Will you stop? It's me, it's Millie. Hail, Blissfield. High, feel our glory and our might.
Oh my God!
And not only is that psycho wearing my body, he's killing it.
He's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Who knows how many of our friends he's gonna kill?
Are you sure this is safe? No.
Oh my god, it's a slaughterhouse.
I have like less than 6 hours to swap back or I'm gonna be stuck in his body forever.
Hurry up, loser, I gotta take a dump.
I have to admit, it hasn't been all bad.
I'm sorry, sir, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Move! How's that feel? I'll make you wish your stupid face was never born. Oh my god, did you just pee yourself?
Yes!
Whoa, what am I wearing?
I'm actually really liking this for you. Great. We're gonna get killed by Murder Barbie.
I can't wait to kill you.
Time to stop this asshole.
We're in this together.
I want my body back.
Come and get it.
Look, I know I look like the butcher, but it's Millie.
He's crazy.
Okay, Booker, can you look at me, please?
Booker!
Dry up, bitch.
Booker, help! Booker!
Will you shut up?
Booker!
And that is the best Freaky Friday twist I've seen ever. Freaky with Vince Vaughn, Catherine Newton, and a very good young cast to basically do a horror film that made me feel like I was watching something back when I was a kid in the 80s, but done in today's time period. It's done right. It's not cheesy. It's fun. It's Vince Vaughn. It's what he does. This is a movie preview that strikes that chord that makes you want to go see it and have fun watching someone get killed in high school because of the stupid things that you would do in high school. The whole switching of the bodies things because from the Freaky Friday franchise and whatnot, and then just keeping the name Freaky. Great tie-in because then that way the people who don't know that it's the whole play on the we switch bodies and now what are we gonna do kind of thing.
And on that day,
What the fuck? I woke up and I'm Lil Dicky.
woke up Chris Breezy. Oh my God, I'm the man.
It carries itself on its own. It ties back to what it is, but it carries itself on its own that you're not worried about what it has to stand up to of all the other 3, 4, 5 Freaky Friday movies that are on there. So it works for me. I didn't think I would see Vince Vaughn in something of this level. And, being that he's the oldest person in the cast, sorry, dude, it's just obvious. But it works well for what this story is. Shot really well. It's like for a horror movie, this thing shot definitely really well. The visualizations, the uses of light and color and shadows, it's just something that draws the eye in and you just want to go see this. With that, I'm talking a little too much and I'm going to hand it off to Tara. Tara, tell us what you think about this movie, Freaky.
I love horror movies. Holy shit, I love horror movies so much. And Vince Vaughn is hilarious. Everything he does. And so having something like this where they play a really, really, really good, like to mix up the killers because killers are mostly middle-aged white dudes. And for it to be a young chick, just to play on that, to play on everything else. The fact that it's Blumhouse and they do really well with horrors. Happy Death Day was hilarious. It was a really good, fresh take. And this has me so excited. Like I can't wait to go see this.
Yeah, so this is really a really fun preview for me. I'm not normally a horror person in general, but I do like it when the horror is like a comedy horror, which is kind of the genre that this is going for. It reminds me of Scream. It reminds me of a TV show that was on somewhat recently called Scream Queens.
What fresh hell is this?
with Jamie Lee Curtis and Emma Roberts, where it's just like over the top, kind of like campy and funny, like not in a cheesy bad way, but in like the best kind of like comedic way.
Chantel, why you got a knife in your throat?
And Vince Vaughn really plays his comedic roles very well. So having him be a teenage girl trapped in his body is kind of perfect. Like he's really hitting all the right notes with that. And the girl as a serial killer is also perfect because she has this really fucking ruthless, like, oh, I was the girl who everyone picked on, but now I'm a fucking serial killer.
Come and get it.
So I think that it's funny. They're definitely hitting the right tone with this. It looks like the cast is amazing. There's a lot of talent. The cinematography is good. The gory scenes seem over the top in like a funny but like also gruesome way. So I think this one's going to be a really big hit.
Copy that. Completely agree with you on that. There's so much that we could say about this film. I even like that they decided to take from Diane Wood's Freaky a Lot to use as the background music for the preview to amp it up and get the energy going for what this movie really is. With that, Rebecca, why don't you lead off on the grades and let me know how you feel on how this is going to do.
Sure. For me, this preview is a 4-star preview. Like, it was really funny. It's really edgy. Like, it has the right comedy, horror genre tones in it. Like, everything about that preview makes me want to watch the movie. And I think it's going to be a great movie. I'm hopeful that it will be. So definitely a 4-star preview. I think Rotten Tomatoes is going to be kind of generous to this. So I think around the 70 or 75% on this one. It looks really good. The cast is talented. I think critics tend to like Vince Vaughn, and so a lot of his movies do well for the most part. And then where I want to see this, that's a toss up for me. Like, this might be a movie theater movie for me, but if I don't get to see it in theaters, I would be totally fine with streaming or renting it. But I think most likely I probably will rent it. Like, I won't wait for it to be on streaming services, but I would pay, $5 or $6 or whatever to rent it. So for me, it's an at-home rental.
Copy that. My grades on this, I'm going to give this 4 as well. It's interesting enough that it would drive me to go see it. It's well done that I'm, happy to see it and talk about it. It's a really good preview that makes you want to go see this movie, and I hope it does well. Rotten Tomatoes, I think it is actually going to do really well because of what it is. It's going to hit the mass market of people who are going to want to watch it, and it's going to hit in that like 80 percentile for me on Rotten Tomatoes. Seeing it when and where, I would love to go see this movie in the theaters, but I'm feeling the whole, this is a popcorn night, warm blanket kind of watch with family and or friends or whatnot. Just a little bit more of a like, oh my god, let's watch this, and have the ability to talk about it at the same time without being in the whole movie theater. With that, Tara, why don't you give us your grades on the movie Freaky?
So I think that, let's see, I give the preview about a 4. It was really good. It was funny. It was engaging. It made me want to see it. As far as Rotten Tomatoes go, they tend to not really be generous and kind to horror films. So I'm going to give it like a 60, 70, just because I think Vince Vaughn being in it will help push it up a little bit higher. But in general, they kind of, I don't know. And as for seeing it, again, if it's safe, COVID didn't exist, yada, 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 totally in the theater, because you guys are missing out on any type of jump scare or whatever. Watching horror movies in a theater, especially with people like seeing big giant dudes freak out at jump scares, is the funniest thing on the planet. So hands down, yeah, absolutely the movie theater.
Copy that. I do agree with you. It's like jump scares and all that. It is kind of fun feeling that energy in the movie theater. So it's one of those like, it's on that line for me. But, what can I say? Moving on to our next film. It is the tale that, with obviously COVID happening and whatnot, It's the tale that we knew someone was going to make a movie about sooner or later. It's called Songbird.
Good morning, Miss Garcia.
Good morning, sunshine. I miss you. I could kiss you right now.
Someday.
Curfew is now in effect. All unauthorized citizens must stay indoors.
Tensions rise as we enter the 213th week of lockdown.
A grim new reality emerges.
COVID-23 has mutated.
Beginning thermal scan. Thermal scan normal.
A horrifying new development
New
today.
data confirms the virus attacks the brain tissue.
Hey, whoa, I'm immune! I'm immune!
Worldwide death toll rises to over 110 million.
All infected Americans are being forced into quarantine camps.
Sarah. Sarah, what's going on?
Department of Sanitation.
Sarah, talk to me.
I think my neighbor has a fever.
It'll be so much easier if you just open the door. Mrs. Grant, you have visitors.
Sarah, please. Sarah, open that door. Sarah, do not open that door.
Beginning thermal scan. 3, 2, 1. Anomaly detected. Armed guards will be arriving in 4 to 6 hours. You must not attempt to leave your home, or you will be shot on sight.
This is my message to you. I know you're in there.
They're coming. I have to let you go.
No. Sarah! Sarah!
Say goodbye to me.
Sarah, I'm not letting you give up.
This is my message to
Sometimes we have to do things we don't want to survive.
I'm trying to save the one person left in my life that matters to me.
I can't help you. What you're talking about is illegal.
every little thing. Gonna be alright. And remember, stay safe, sane, and sanitized.
And that was the preview Songbird. What can I say? It's so close to home that you're just like, should I watch this just so I know what to expect, to, you know, have that understanding of what could happen in the future of the world that we're actually living in right now. You know, they're talking about COVID-23, the possibility of what we're going through right now mutating to something even worse, that quarantine has gone on to that level of military sequestration of people in place, in locations, camps, and being identified as if you're contaminated or not on a daily basis, with technology being right there at the tips of your fingers of identifying if you are contagious. It's scary that something like this might happen, but that's the actual draw to this movie, that this preview is basically playing on our fears of what might happen in the near future. Hopefully does not, but this is what a good writer is supposed to do. He's supposed to play with your feelings in a way that you're scared to find out what's going to happen. You know, to talk about the cast, it's like, not familiar with the two main actors, KJ Apa and Sophia Carson, but you've got Bradley Whitford in here. You've got Demi Moore. You've got like Peter Stormare. It's a great cast to really showcase what is going on in the thought of this story. It's original, which is one of the real things that has been missing from the whole Hollywood movie, TV, whatever you want to call it, world, where something new need to be created to basically grab you and bring you in so you're interested in watching it and not just wondering, oh, is this going to be a rehash of the same stuff that we've seen before? You know, I don't have to talk this episode. I don't have to say anything bad about anything cinematography wise. All of these have been shot brilliantly. This one has been shot so good that I wish I was working on this film. And it just, once again, just draws you in to the story itself being the pandemic that we're in that might future become. With that, I'm going to throw it on to Rebecca to start off on this one. Please tell us how you feel about this preview.
I don't know. I'm still thinking about this one. It feels a little, I guess, because I have had some people in my life recently that are really on the conspiracy theory train of like how the government is going to react and how they're going to do this. And, I'm losing my rights and blah, blah, blah. So like, I'm hesitant to like endorse a movie that I feel like is going to feed that fire a little bit because they're already like crazy about coronavirus and masks, and I'm not taking that vaccine. And so like on one hand, like I love apocalyptic sort of movies and I love the human side of them and the storytelling and the overcoming adversity and all that kind of stuff that you get from these, and what does it mean to be human and what does it mean to be free, and I love those kind of questions. But like right now in the middle of this pandemic, it feels like kind of too soon to be wrestling with this particular issue. And so I don't know. I have mixed feelings. Like the cast is pretty good. I think the younger lead actors, I'm not familiar with them, but they seem compelling. But I'm also at the same time, part of me was like, how in love can they be through video chat only? Like, I don't know. I had all these things like running through my head, right? So for me, it's kind of a mixed bag. Like I like that kind of movie usually, but right now I just don't want to contribute to, like, it just gives me a sense of wariness of contributing to that in society already, like with so much distrust and so much misinformation already circulating.
And that's a fair assessment of the preview in the movie, that that it's too much of a precautionary tale per se, that the director in film is trying to scare people into doing the right thing, because if you don't, this is what's going to happen. But maybe we do need that right now. I don't know. Let's hand this off to Tara. Tell us how you feel about this preview.
Okay, so this is going to be a cautionary thing. If you don't like cuss words, you don't like F-bombs, mute me, fast forward, do something, because fuck this movie. Fuck everyone in it. As somebody who currently, like right now, legit has COVID-19, the fear, and I'm going to back Becky up 100% on this. I'm sick right now because of fucking idiots not washing themselves. Like my entire house is covered in a disease because people can't wear a fucking mask when they're outside. And so a movie like this, all it does is perpetuates this fear. And just like Becky said, I feel it feeds into fear. 10 years from now, this would be a great movie to have, but something that's releasing while we're in a pandemic, something that should have been 2 weeks and we're now into like almost a year of this. No, it's a way too soon. And it's a really, to me, it's a waste because the cast is so fucking talented. Like, and I think with like, having KJ Appa for all the Riverdale fans, like he's going to bring in a whole bunch of people wanting to support him through the younger crowds, and then the older crowds, like with Peter Stormare and Demi Moore, people are going to want to see them in action. But again, just like Becky said, it's just too much of and I get where you're saying where it's like, overly cautious, trying to get, people to put on their damn masks, wash their damn hands, stay inside while they're sick, things of that nature. I think it feeds too far into the fear. And for people like me who have lost family members to this conspiracy, this is like way too nail on the head way too. Like, this is exactly what these people are screaming about. And it's not funny for people that, like, this is our reality and we're trying to like get our family members out of this. Yeah, this movie, in 10 years, yes, right now, nah.
Understand, and I feel for you, not only just because you're my friend, but anyone that's going through COVID. It sucks. Definitely agree with the statement that it's too soon. It hurts too much right now to basically be put out, and it will stoke the fire in probably the wrong ways and maybe some of the good ways, but it is a little bit too soon for this to come out. With that, I'll roll into the grades on this one. Like you said, if this was like 2, 5, 10 years later, it probably would get a better grade because of the realism of it. But I'm gonna give it a 3, only because it's done well. It is shot well. I understand what they're trying to do with it, but it's just too soon. Rotten Tomatoes, I think this is the biggest grade that's going to get affected because of it being too soon and being too close and being that sensitive wound that we shouldn't be messing with right now. I think this is probably going to get a low like 20% on Rotten Tomatoes just because of what the topic is in this movie. It's a great original idea, but people like you, Tara, are really gonna like not give this, they're not gonna be happy with this. They're gonna be really down on this because of their personal situations. When and where I'm gonna see this, I'm actually gonna probably put this on the back burner and not watch it until I feel like the world's turned around better. And it's definitely gonna be on probably like either HBO, Cinemax, or Netflix, down the road just before it gets taken off of Netflix. With that, I'm gonna throw it to you, Tara. Why don't you give us your grades and tell us how you are gonna grade the preview?
So the preview, I actually give it a 4 because I think the preview is really well done. I think it does what a preview should do. It evokes emotion. Like, I had a really visceral, like, that was my first time seeing that. I had a very visceral reaction to that preview, and that's what previews should do. Like, and like I said, if this was like 5 years down the road, I would totally want to watch this movie. I love a good apocalyptic movie. I love a good, freak out as much as anybody else. And as far as Rotten Tomatoes, I can't wait to see the actual comments that are left, because like I said, I think it's going to be like both ways. I'm going to put it 50 right in the middle, because there's going to be people that are pissed off that this movie is out right now, and then there's going to be your QAnon fuckwits that are, and they're going, see, I told you what the government's doing, they're even making movies about it. So yeah, 50% on that one. Am I going to see it? I think I've been very clear. No, it's not going to. This will be something where a couple years down the road, I will definitely revisit. But right now,
Copy that. Rebecca, give us your grades. Tell us how you feel about the movie Songbird.
Well, when I grade the preview for Songbird, it's a pretty solid preview. So I think it's like a 3.5-star preview for me. It was a little disjointed, honestly. Like, there were some scenes where I feel like the flashing of different things happening was just a little, like, it was too hard to kind of get a grasp on like what was happening in certain moments for me, which is the only reason I kind of knocked it down a little. But it's a solid movie preview, so I think it deserves 3.5, maybe even 4 stars. Rotten Tomatoes is iffy. It's so hard because like you're predicting how well a movie will do and it's based on a preview only, but I think the movie will be okay. I'd say 55 or 60%, like not like certified super fresh, but not rotten either. And I do think it'll be interesting to see who really enjoys this film and like what the takeaways are. As far as watching it, it's just 2020 is already too heavy for me in so many other ways. And I don't need to see a movie about a reality we're kind of already living through right now that's hard for everyone, and people are sick and people are dying and we're struggling, everyone's struggling. And I'm looking for escapism in my movies right now. So I don't know that I'm going to watch this anytime soon. I probably will watch it eventually. when we're past all this, which means not in the theater, but at home at some point, but it's going to be a long time.
Great reviews on that. But being that we need a little escapism, I think that we've got one last preview that we need to watch. Something to cheer us all up and make us feel great about movie previews and movies and, you know, having that fun with what Hollywood does. This is a movie that I think I myself and my guests are very happy that is going to be coming out soon. The one, the only, Marvel's Loki.
Hand over the case, John. Hand over the...
Get your hands off.
You're taking me somewhere to kill me.
No, I'm taking you someplace to talk.
Well, I don't like to talk.
But you do like to lie, which you just did. Because we both know you love to talk.
How long have you been here?
I don't know, it's hard to say. You know, time passes differently here in the TVA.
What does that mean?
You'll catch up.
Glorious. Better be ready. Come on. What did you expect?
Ladies and gentlemen, the coming soon to Disney platform TV miniseries, Loki. This might be a little bit of a departure from what we normally do as in movie previews, but I'm not trying to be closed-minded to just one type of thing. I'm open-minded to the whole idea of whatever previews that are out there we're going to do here on this show, TV, streaming, movies, whatever. But this was a very good treat for me. This right here is the gap that needed to be filled when they stopped doing S.H.I.E.L.D. Marvel does good TV, and this with Tom Hiddleston in the lead role as Loki, one of the most unique and awesome characters of all Marvel out there, it's going to be awesome. This is going to be something that I will treat like this is going to be on the Mandalorian level where I'm not going to try and watch it all at once and binge watch. I'm making sure that it's on Thursday nights, 8 o'clock. I'm in my seat. I'm watching this and doing nothing else, period. I don't care if I'm traveling, working, or otherwise. There's 1 hour of a break that I'm staying on some type of media service to watch this show. It is done so well. You can see from this preview that costumes, period specific, the Loki character himself, taken from where they pulled him out of the Infinity Wars kind of bullshit that was going on, and literally drop him in his own kind of realm. It's where just even Tom Hiddleston's smile and his whole emotions in that last scene, you know that this was perfect for his role and what that character needs to do, because he's all about the mischief. He's the Lord of Mischief. And this is going to be one of those medias that I'm going to enjoy watching on a weekly. I could go on and on and on about everything in this, but I'm going to toss this off to Tara on this one. And I want you to, you know what? No, I want to save Tara for last, because she's going to get all neck beardy and shit on this. And I want to hear that, like, the best of the best at the end of it. Rebecca, I was going to do you last because I know that Tom Hiddleston and Loki are one of your favorite characters, but you go ahead. Tell us how you feel about this preview.
Our first TV series preview. This is exciting for me. I know that you know this, but I guess I'm telling the whole world. Tom Hiddleston is number 1 on my Celebrity 5 list.
I like her.
From Friends, the ones like the celebrities I'm allowed to with.
Or what? Well, we have a deal where we each get to pick 5 different celebrities that we could sleep with. And the other one can't get mad.
I mean, I really love him.
Really. Just tell the world. Thank you.
I especially like him as Loki because obviously.
Thank you.
This is
just keep going. Keep going.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. This is exciting that I get to see like extended content with Tom Hiddleston as Loki.
Thank you.
So I'm excited. I hope Disney does justice to this series. And I feel so confused about what's going on, but like in a good way. Like, where is he? What is TVA? I have no idea. And I don't really read comics, so I guess I need to get caught up if there's something about this that I'm missing. But I just overwhelmingly feel excited about this preview, and I'm super stoked for this to come out. And I cannot wait to watch it. And if it's anywhere near as good as what they're doing with Mandalorian, then it's going to be a runaway hit for sure.
Tara, go ahead, drop that bomb. Drop it on us. Drop it.
No bomb. Ready? Insert fangirl screaming. Insert Jonah Hill meme. Because holy fucking shit, I cannot wait for this. Right now, we need an anti-hero. We need fantasy. We need to get lost in the fuckery that is Loki, because he is the most fantastic.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Like, he's great. He is just that level of indecency and meanness that you need while still doing the right thing. So he's not a total prick.
Thank you.
But sometimes he is. I mean, he imprisoned his dad and pretended to be him for how long? Like, it's one of those things where I'm really excited this is coming out. Disney has been sitting on this forever. Spoiler alert. If like watching him get his neck cracked was like the saddest thing, and now he's back, so they found a way. Here's your neckbeard moment. I'm so sick of all these fucking multiverse bullshit where somebody dies and they bring them back miraculously. But this is a good one. This is one of the ones where I will pass on the multiverse bullshit and say this was a good thing to bring him back. It's and like you said, instead of binge watching it, if it's on Thursday at 8 o'clock, it will be streaming in my house. I cannot wait for this.
Yeah, it's fanboy geekery here. This is, I took on the moniker when I was in high school of being Loki. So yeah, I'm literally waiting for this to come out so I can just watch it all the time. But I am going to make sure that I don't binge watch this show, because it just be a waste. It needs to be savored like a good steak.
Beautiful. Let them rest.
Like a good steak.
Delicious.
With that, let's get into the grades. I'm gonna let Tom Hiddleston, geek girl herself, start off with the grades on this one. Tell us how you feel that this preview of this whole project of Loki's gonna do. It's going to get on Rotten Tomatoes. It's going to get graded. So go ahead and give us your 1 to 5, your Rotten Tomatoes. And since it's going to be on Disney and not in a movie theater, tell us how you're going to watch it.
That preview is a 5 for me, just because of my overall excitement for Tom Hiddleston to be reprising his role as Loki for
Tom Hiddleston.
I know, whatever. To like have extended Loki content, because there's just never enough Loki in any of the Marvel movies for my personal taste.
Thank you.
We could always use more Loki in our lives. So it's definitely a 5-star preview. I'm intrigued by it. I don't know what's happening and I want to know what's happening. So that was a good, solid preview. I think it will do well on Rotten Tomatoes because all things Marvel do well on Rotten Tomatoes, whether they deserve it or not. Unfortunately, they all get like 90% fresh ratings, whether that is justified or not. So I see this probably getting the same kind of a rating, like a 90% or more. And then how will I watch it? This is the stream it slowly at home. Like this is like must-see TV, like Friends used to be back in the day, where you don't miss it. You are there for it. You're like, I don't make plans on Thursday night because I need to know what happens with Ross and Rachel. That's kind of like the same feeling for this for me. Like it's going to be a dedicated, we watch this on the night it comes out. We're ready with our snacks, our food, like an event, because I love it that much.
And with all that love spilling out, I'm going to hand it over to Tara. Please tell us how you feel about the TV miniseries Loki.
So the preview, definitely 4.5, 5 stars. It was great. Got me hyped, got me pumped. I can't wait. I want to watch it so bad. Rotten Tomatoes, again, it's Marvel. I mean, it's going to be easily 95%. Where I'm going to watch it, I'm actually going to watch it downstairs on my home, what we call the man cave. So the big projector's coming out because we got to see it, big size, the same way we treat The Mandalorian. It's going to be on the big screen, surround sound, everything going for it. And I'm really super excited. I hope that they do crossovers. I hope there's cameos. Like I hope that there's, as they release new movies, those new movies are brought in to the series to kind of like, do whatever. So yeah, super excited for it.
With that, I'm going to give my grades. This is definitely a 5 all the way across the board. There's no mistaking from this preview that it's going to be good. Rotten Tomatoes, if this doesn't get 100, this gets a Tara, we're going to hunt you down grade on this one. It better get 100 on friggin' Rotten Tomatoes, or we're coming with the toilet paper. How am I going to see this? Oh yeah, this is in front of the TV, Michael Jackson style popcorn. Like, just don't talk during this show. No, it is the quintessential NBC Thursday night, like it was with Friends and other shows that we're not allowed to talk about. And for me, this is my Knight Rider of the 80s and everything else. That was it's going to be what I'm going to be talking about almost every day until I see the last episode. Hopefully it becomes more than just a miniseries. Being that it's told as a miniseries, it scares me. I'm hoping it becomes a whole season itself, its whole own thing on Disney that they keep on going. But with big name like Tom Hiddleston, it might run out of money and they might not be able to do it anymore. So I'm hoping it does well. With that, I want to thank you both for coming and helping me out with the preview review show. I want to thank you guests for watching. And remember, subscribe, ring that bell, leave some comments, and also throw us a like or two. It really does help, and who knows, maybe even you will be joining us on the preview review show. I'm your host, Lonnie Johnson. I want to thank once again my guest hosts, Tara Leanne and Rebecca Johnson. And thank you once again for coming. Have a good day. Bye.